Hello, hope you're doing well, and welcome to my SMITE 2 Daji guide. Daji, the nine-tailed fox, prowls onto the battleground with cruel elegance, every movement dripping with malice and precision. Her chains carve fear into the hearts of her enemies, her claws leave lingering agony, and her presence alone is enough to make even the bravest warriors think twice before stepping out of position. Daji isn't just an assassin, she embodies the art of the kill. As a jungler, Daji thrives on relentless pressure, burst damage, and oppressive crowd control. She bleeds her targets down, locks them in place, and rips through their defenses with ruthless efficiency. Her mobility, chase potential, and ability to execute isolated targets makes her one of the deadliest picks for a player who loves calculated aggression and high-impact ganks. And today I'll be teaching you everything you need to know to master this vicious ruler of pain. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss my future SMITE 2 guides, as I'll be covering all of the characters in SMITE 2. Also check out my Discord server if you have any questions or want to join a friendly, toxic-free SMITE community. Now let's dive right into Daji's abilities. Daji's passive is Torture Blades. Her basic attacks and non-ultimate abilities inflict a bleed that deal damage over time. These effects stack, rewarding you for repeated hits and extended trades. This passive lets Daji slowly tear down her targets even after they try to disengage. It's a core part of her identity, persistent, punishing, and perfect for finishing fleeing enemies. Moving on to Daji's first ability, Horrible Burns, Daji will empower her next basic attack, causing it to slow the target and apply bonus physical damage alongside a potent damage over time. If the enemy is low enough, they become marked, greatly reducing this ability's cooldown when struck. Horrible Burns is your primary single target burst damage and should be maxed first, as it provides your best kill pressure and makes securing early picks significantly easier. Daji's second ability is 1000 Cuts. Daji rapidly slashes in a wide cone in front of her, dealing physical damage across multiple hits. While channeling, she gains movement speed, becomes immune to slows, ignores strafing penalties, and takes reduced damage from behind. This ability is your main area damage in jungle clear, and after putting 1 to 3 levels into this ability, you'll want to default to maxing her first ability, Horrible Burns. This ability is devastating in close quarter fights and lets Daji stick to her targets while shredding them down. Moving on, her third ability is Trickster Spirit. Daji teleports to a target enemy or a ward, and after a brief delay, she will damage them on arrival. The direction you are facing determines which side of the target you will appear on, allowing for precise positioning during teamfights or ganks. Finally, her ultimate ability is Powwow. Daji summons her Powwow and rises above the battlefield, becoming CC immune. While in this state, Daji may fire up to 3 chains at target locations. Any enemies hit by this chain will be slowly vortexed and dragged towards the Powwow. Enemies dragged close enough to the Powwow will take damage over time for the remainder of the duration. It's also worthy of note that any enemies hit by 2 chains will be vortexed towards the Powwow significantly faster. Now that you understand Daji's abilities, let's talk about how to best make use of them in combos. Daji's playstyle is fluid. Her combos aren't rigid or fixed. They shift depending on the situation, your target's relics, their positioning, or whether you're engaging, chasing, or finishing a kill. Some abilities will be added, others will be omitted entirely. That adaptability is what makes Daji a lethal assassin. But one rule never changes. You must weave auto attacks between every single ability. This is what separates a decent Daji from a true master assassin. Weaving basic attacks in between ability use will maximize your burst, stack your passive bleed faster, and massively increase your overall damage output. The rhythm of ability auto is core of her entire identity. Daji's all-in combo will start with Trickster Spirit if you need a gap close, then weave in an auto attack, follow with Horrible Burns into another auto attack, and finish with 1000 Cuts into a final auto attack. So the full sequence looks like 3 auto, 1 auto, 2 auto. This pattern is incredibly flexible. If you're already on top of your target, you can skip the dash entirely. If they're low enough or slowed, you can end the combo early, and if they somehow escape, your ultimate is the perfect follow-up to pull them right back into the fight. Daji's ultimate isn't just for picks, it's a fight disruptor. Sometimes the best combo is to dash into the enemy backline and instantly cast Powwow to force relics, break formations, or drag priority targets out of position. Landing even 1 chain can flip an entire engagement, and landing all 3 is devastating. And when you drop down from your Powwow, return immediately to your torturous rhythm of auto attack ability auto attack. The key to mastering Daji isn't memorizing a script, it's staying adaptable. Some fights require your full kit, and others only need Horrible Burns into a quick auto attack cancel for fast, efficient burst damage. The more flexible and reactive you become, the deadlier Daji grows. If you want to see these combos in action, check out my YouTube channel where I will be posting some Daji gameplay, and consider following me on Twitch for live SMITE 2 gameplay. The best way to ask questions directly and watch these combos executed in real time. Now that you know exactly how to play Daji, let's go over where she performs best. Daji is at her strongest in the jungle. Her early pressure, strong chase potential, and ability to isolate targets make her a natural predator in this role. She clears camps quickly with 1000 cuts, rotates smoothly with her mobility, and her ultimate is one of the most threatening gank tools in the entire game. Whether she's picking off backliners or disrupting teamfights with Paolao, Daji defines herself as the true jungler through and through. Daji can somewhat function in solo lane, but she isn't really ideal. She has strong kill potential and can win trades with her bleed and burst, but her lack of sustain, tankiness, and wave control makes her matchup dependent. She thrives only against squishier or immobile opponents and struggles heavily against traditional solo laners. It's playable but far from optimal. Daji doesn't fit the mid lane playstyle well. She lacks safe range clear, can't poke from a distance, and is too vulnerable to coordinate pressure. Mid requires control and range, two things that Daji simply does not specialize in. Daji falls short in the dual lane. Her burst damage is strong, but she lacks the sustained DPS and structure damage a hunter brings. She can bully early with certain supports, but she offers little in the late game compared to other ADCs that have consistent auto attack damage at a range. Daji has no frontline presence, no peel, no meaningful utility for her team outside of her ultimate. The support role is not a good fit for her. Her kit is purely aggressive and designed for killing isolated targets, making support a very poor fit. Daji shines brightest and performs at her absolute peak in the jungle. Everything else is either niche or significantly weaker by comparison. Now that you know where you will be playing Daji, let's talk about what you will be building. I can't give you an exact build for Daji as items in SMITE 2 often go through changes and fall in and out of the meta, but I can tell you which stats to focus on and suggest some items. As an assassin who relies on burst damage, chase potential, and quick execution, Daji wants to prioritize strength, cooldown reduction, and penetration to maximize her kill pressure in the jungle. For strength, items like Hydra's Lament, the Crusher, and Oathsworn Spear are excellent choices. They give Daji the raw powers she needs to amplify her burst combo and secure kills quickly. For cooldown reduction, look at items such as Jotun's Revenge, Hydra's Lament, and the Crusher. Cooldown reduction is critical as it allows Daji to use Horrible Burns and Trickster Spirit more frequently, greatly increasing her gank potential and chase capabilities, not to mention giving you the ability to use your teamfight changing ultimate more often. For penetration, items like Heartseeker, Titan's Bane, and Oathsworn Spear are top tier choices that let you cut through tankier targets and guarantee your damage hits as hard as possible in the late game. Now, as always, do remember that these items are just suggestions as they depend on variables such as your situation, your team composition, and the enemy team comp. Furthermore, as I mentioned earlier, items are buffed and nerfed falling in and out of the meta. With that being said, the stats themselves are consistent, so it doesn't really matter which items you buy as long as you focus on those stats that I already mentioned: penetration, cooldown reduction, and strength. But if you do want completed builds, feel free to join the Discord server where I or other community members can assist you with any build questions you may have. As I mentioned, if you want some non-toxic friends to play SMITE 2 with, our Discord server is the perfect place for you. Now let's finish off with some final tips and tricks to help you master Daji. I'm going to sound like a broken record with this one, but my first tip is to weave auto attacks between every ability. This is the foundation of mastering Daji. Woven basic attacks maximize your burst, rapidly stack torture blades, and dramatically increase your damage output. Auto attack ability auto attack isn't optional, it's essential if you want to play her at a high level. My second tip is to play with the patience of a true assassin. Daji thrives when the enemy is distracted. Stalk your prey, wait for the perfect moment, and strike when their attention is elsewhere. In the middle of the teamfight after a relic, or when they're retreating, her hit rewards players who pick their moment and not those who rush blindly. The third tip is to master the direction of Trickster Spirit. Her dash lands you on the opposite side of whatever direction you're facing. If you're facing towards the enemy, you'll appear behind them. If you're facing away, you'll land in front. This makes Trickster Spirit one of the best tools in the game for cutting off escapes, dodging abilities, or guaranteeing your first hit in the combo. And finally, use Paolao for more than just damage. Daji's ultimate is a powerful team disruptor. Use it to force relics, split teams, zone enemies off objectives, or create a pure chaos during critical moments in a teamfight. Even if you don't secure a kill, Pala can completely reshape a team fight in your team's favor. And that's it, you've reached the very end of the Daji guide. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out my other SMITE 2 guides and subscribe for more content. If you have any questions, join my Discord server for tips and a friendly toxic-free SMITE community. Finally, follow me on Twitch if you want to watch me play SMITE live or ask any questions directly. It's always a blast to interact with you guys live. With that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye!